Hello everyone, welcome to the Cherry Heart podcast. I'm Sandra, we're on episode number 36 and this is a podcast about crochet and knitting and yarny goodness and a little bit of sewing and other bits and bobs thrown in when I get the chance. So thank you for coming to join me and visit me, and I'll try and get straight back into it, I think, because I feel all rusty because I haven't got back into my pattern of podcasting yet after summer, so I'm all over the place, so apologies in advance if this is a bit rubbish. Yeah. Oh, show notes. I nearly always forget this bit. If you would like to find the links or more information about anything I talk about in the podcast, I shall pop it in my show notes, which you can find on my blog, which is cherryheart.co.uk, and just click on the little podcast link and you can find out all the information there. And you can find me on Instagram as Sandra Cherry HRT and elsewhere around the web as Cherry Heart. So first of all, I was going to talk about just what's happened since we last spoke. So I've been up to Yarndale since we last spoke, which I won't go into massive detail because I actually did a blog post about that, so I'll link to that in the show notes if you want to have a little look. But it was just really nice. I haven't been up there for quite a few years. I have been once before. But yeah, it was really nice to go again and see everyone and, you know, meet people, meet some Instagram people that you don't normally get to spend time with in normal life. So that was really lovely, and it was really nice for me as well because I got to meet Annette from My Rose Valley, who isn't blogging at the moment, but we've followed each other's blogs for a long time and chatted, and we sort of talked about the idea of one day, wouldn't it be fabulous if we meet up? She lives in Switzerland, you see, and with me being in the UK, it's sort of, our paths don't exactly cross. So when I heard she was coming, I thought, yeah, I've got to come up so we can meet. And yeah, so that was really, really, really lovely. So yeah, we spent a bit of time in a lovely cottage and it was peaceful and relaxing and fantastic. Yeah, really nice. And then of course the yarn festival with some yarny goodness and meeting up with lovely people. It was really nice, very nice. Oh, and I just wanted to share, we met Helen, who is Flora Honeypot on Instagram, and she was there and her husband was there, so we met them and was chatting to them. And he's done a little vlog or a video of a walk that he did in the Yorkshire Dales, so I think it was from one village to another. But I'm going to put the link into that as well because I watched that and it was just a really nice little video to watch. It sort of gives you a little idea of the countryside up there, but it's just really peaceful and nice, and the way he's done it is really, it's really good. I really enjoyed it, so I'm going to pop that in as well. Yeah, so that's Yarndale, which was great fun. And then the Spicier Life crochet along, which is this blanket here, has launched now. It's all live and it's happening. Part 2 came out yesterday, so blankets are being made and it's all very exciting. Yeah. So are you crocheting along? Are you making one? It's quite a sort of tense time for me because I'm half sort of like, oh my goodness, I hope, you know, the parts come out and they're okay, and you know, I haven't messed anything up. And then there's the other half of sort of seeing what people do, and seeing the blankets is fantastic. If you have a little look on the Instagram tag for it at the moment, it's Spicier Life Cal, C-A-L. Pop it here. Yeah, it's starting to look really good in there now. I mean, it was good even before the blankets started because people are sort of sharing their yarn packs arriving and sorting out their colours, and there's a little chart in the pattern where you can sort of put a bit of yarn and sort your colours out so you know what's what. Or you can design your own sort of pattern, so seeing what people were coming up with, that was really good. And then now the sort of blankets are starting to pop up, so it's looking like a fantastic riot of colour on the hashtag now, which is great fun to scroll through and see. And there's so many combinations. I quite often in my comments put, oh my gosh, I really like your colours. And I feel a bit like I said that to the last person and the last person, but the trouble is it's true. I'm like, oh, that's a really good combo. Oh, that's a really good combo. Yeah, I just find it quite inspiring and exciting to sort of see all the different things and the way people have combined them and the different colours they've used, and also seeing sort of the yarn packs grow, because I made that one, which is the Debbie Bliss Rialto yarn. That's what I used and sort of designed the original blanket in, and then I sort of tested out the other colours for combinations, and sort of I did sort of little samples and things, but to sort of see the other colourways in a whole blanket is really good, because I haven't sort of, you know, I haven't seen them, what's the word, you know, in reality. Yeah, so seeing those sort of the Taj Mahal grow and the Bollywood and that one's Jaipur, seeing those all sort of coming to life as actual blankets, that's really good as well. So yeah, so if you're not taking part and would like to have a go, just saying that that's up there, and as I say, we're only on part 2 so far, so you're not far behind, so still plenty of time to join in and catch up. And the yarn packs are available on Black Sheep Wool, so I'll put all the links in for that. And there's a Facebook group as well where people are being fantastic and helping each other out and solving people's problems and just being really supportive. It's really lovely to pop in there. I mean, there's all the lovely blanket pictures as well, but it's just nice that there's a genuinely really helpful, lovely spirit in there, which is very nice to see. So that's going on at the moment, and then we have noisy dogs barking, which I'm kind of hoping you can't hear. There's always dogs barking. Not my dog, for once. Ah, here's my dog now. There you go. You're going to say hello? Yes, there you are. He was sleeping on the sofa and I asked him if he wanted to come up to see me, and he just ignored me. I'm in the garden office, you see. Not office. That's not a very good name for a lovely crafty place. Garden craft room. My little crafty house. Yes, he was asleep on the sofa and he didn't want to come up, so, but now the barking has alerted him, so he's come to visit now. Haven't you? Did you have to tell Lucy off? Yes. You have to tell the dog next door off for barking, didn't you? Because you're in charge, aren't you? Obviously. Right, you're going to go and sit in your bed then. Go. Okay, he's getting into bed. This is a good sign. Right, so let's tell you. What do I do first? What I've made or what I'm doing? What I've made, I think. So, socky start is traditional, isn't it? Starting with socks. So the pair of socks that I've finished, that I can show you this time, are a pair I actually finished in the summer holidays. I still haven't shown you all the things I've done in the summer holidays yet. So this is a pair of socks that I made for my little girl. In fact, the last pair I showed you ended up being for my little girl, didn't they? But that was by mistake, because they were supposed to be for me, but I made them to the wrong size, so they ended up being for her. These ones were actually intentionally made for her, and she chose the yarn, whoops, which is a head over heels yarn, one of the Starcraft head over heel colourways, which I can't remember the name of, but I shall pop it in show notes. But it's really pretty. I can see why she chose it. It's one of my favourites too, actually. It's really nice. They're hairy and a bit bobbly, and I won't go too close to the camera because I've got a pair of socks I made out of head over heels yarn, which I've been wearing on and off for a year. I've put them in, you know, I'm not too precious about my hand knit socks. I tend to just shove them in the washing machine. I do them on a nice gentle wool wash, but I do put them in the washing machine mostly. So they've been in the washing machine. I've worn them. Mine look in absolutely pristine condition still. She has worn hers about twice, and she's started to get all yarn bobbles and goodness knows what on them. What do they do to them, these children? I don't know. I think because she just... I mean, I wear mine around the house, but I don't know. I don't know what these children do. Anyway, these ones look quite small actually. They fit her absolutely fine. I actually made them just a tiny bit longer just so she could get a little bit of extra wear out of them. But she's almost the same size as me now. I think I do 64 stitches on the leg, and I think this was like, it might have been 56. I think it was 60. Just thinking it looks a bit small for 60. But anyway, yeah, she's practically the same size as me now, so a little tiny bit shorter in the foot. But other than that, yeah, it's almost you know, the same size as mine. I just thought, have I got a colour match? I'm just waving them around. Oh yeah, they do match, don't they, colour-wise? I have matched them up quite well. Not bad. A little bit of blue at the top and the yellow's just starting to come in at the bottom. Pretty good. But anyway, she's really pleased with them, as you can see, because she's been wearing them. But yeah, so that's quite nice. What else can I tell you about them? Actually, I haven't told you anything relevant. Fish lips, kiss heel. Just a rounded wedge toe, and I just kitchened a very small bit at the top. I made them a bit taller. My toes sort of are more rounded, so I have a bit shorter toe, but I made hers a bit longer, so I only kitchened about, say, 6 stitches as opposed to 12 at the top, just to give her a little bit extra because she's got a bit longer toes than me. But yeah, everything else was fairly plain, vanilla, socky. And then the other thing that I've got that I whipped up as a little quickie are some mitts, of course. As soon as the weather started to turn a little bit, I thought, oh, mitts, as I usually do. Hang on, I'm putting these ones on the wrong way. So these are my is it Nomadic yarn? They're an American. She's an American dyer. I don't know her name actually. Yeah, Nomadic yarns. So this is a yarn ball that I made a pair of socks out of earlier in the year. I was making them when I went to Edinburgh actually, yarn festival. Yeah, so I had enough because I did contrasting heels, cuffs and toes on those. I had plenty of left. So I thought, I'll make a nice matching pair of mitts. Which I do because I love those colours. This is the Molly Weasley colourway. And then I just did the same contrasting colour for the cuff bits as I did on the socks, because I just think it works perfectly with this yarn. Matching mitts and socks set. Matching hands and feet. Very important. Yeah, so I like those, pleased with those, quite simple. I think I have no idea how many stitches I did for that actually. I might have put it in my project page. I know that I did a couple of decreases just to bring it in so that this bit was just slightly wider than the bit that's on my hand. But yeah, other than that it was just a straight tube of knitting. Oh, and I did a broken rib. Rather than a 2x2 rib, I did a broken rib, which means that for the first row you knit 2 and purl 2, knit 2, purl 2, and then the next row you knit all of them and then go back to knit 2, purl 2, knit 2. So it just makes the ribbing, instead of crunching up like that, where it's just knit 2, purl 2 on every row, it makes it stay out and not scrunch up like that. So that's the difference, in case you were wondering. So those are my finished objects to show you. And let's move on to what I am working on now. Let's start with socks again. It's all about the knitting. Let's do all the knitting together. So this project is in my little kitty cat bag that I made a while ago. with some cute kitties on, which is from fabric that I had in my stash, which has been there for quite a while, I'm afraid. And it's a cute cat button on it as well, which I picked up when I went to London with Sam, actually, from what's that shop by Loop? Ray Stitches, I'm not quite sure. But it's just up the road from Loop of London. So this is my Strictly shop. Blah 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 blah. This is my Strictly socks. So I spoke about this last time because I showed you the lovely yarn, which is by Homespun House and is called B-Sides and Rarities, and is gorgeous. And it's got some sparkly bling in it, which is as is only appropriate for something strictly related. So these I'm making as part of the knit along that Ali from Little Drops of Wonderful is hosting, which is that you knit the socks. It's Strictly socks, so you knit them while you are watching Strictly Come Dancing, or your version of that programme wherever you live. So the idea is you cast on during the launch show. You can only knit them when Strictly is on, or It Takes Two, which is the little companion show which is on during the week, and then you cast off on the final show. But I think there's been that, well, Ali encourages rule bending, creative rule bending. So yeah, if you pop along to her podcast, or I don't know if she's got a Ravelry group actually, she's put it in, I guess she must have. Otherwise, where are we going to enter all our socks? Yeah, you'll see there's been some creative rule bending going on, which is quite good. So Sam, my friend from Betsy Makes, for example, knows someone that married one of the dancers from Strictly Come Dancing, so she has decided that whenever she's in the presence of said marriage official, that counts as a Strictly link, so she can knit her socks. And obviously with iPlayer and things like that, you can, and YouTube and different countries participating, you can kind of find a bit of Strictly in a lot of places if you look for it. So these are my Strictly socks, and the hashtag is, I think it's Strictly 2017 socks, but I will put it down here because I always forget and have to check each time. So these are my socks. Now I was going to make the No Pearl Monkeys. So there's Monkey Socks, which is a pattern by Cookie A, which is pretty famous. Loads of people have made it. And there's a No Pearl version where you leave out the pearls in the pattern and just knit them instead. So I was going to make that, but when it came to it and I was actually sitting there and watching, I just thought, because it's a pattern with a chart with it, and I'm sure it is very easy, and looking at it I know it's very easy, but I thought I don't want to stop watching and look at the chart and have to keep check I'm on track, so I'll just go with something sort of very simple. So I just came up with this very simple little zigzaggy pattern that I could do sort of without having to think about it while I was watching the programme. So that's what I've gone with in the end. I just made it up, but as you can see it's quite straightforward. Just sort of little ziggy zags. So yeah, I'm coming along quite nicely now. I was a bit worried at first. I think when I did the launch show I only did a tiny bit of cuff. And then the next show I only got a tiny little bit further. So oh my goodness, it's going to take me forever to do these at this rate. Actually I must have, yeah, and then there wasn't a results show, was there? So I must have got to there at first, and then we had 2 weeks of Strictly because my daughter and I missed it. Yarndale, that's what it was. So my daughter watched it, but she watched it again with me. So I had 2 weeks worth of the show and the results show. So I managed to get down here and turn the heel now, and now I'm on the gusset decreases. I've started doing those, so I'm coming along quite nicely now. So, oh look at that, look at those colours on there where it's the plain knitting. Oh, so pretty. So pretty. Yeah, so it's all sort of nicely smooth sailing now. So that'll be fine. So I've got a 1x1 twisted rib, which is that, my made up leg pattern, an eye of partridge style heel where it's alternate stitches that get slipped. What else can I tell you about it? I think that's it. Oh, and I've got my sort of made it myself, kind of disco ball related sparkly bling strictly marker. These were some beads that my daughter had in her sort of various beading sets that I half-inched to make myself a little strictly progress keeper. So that's that coming along very nicely. That's fun. So yeah, I'm not really bending the rules that much, apart from had to do a bit of iPlayer catch up on the launch show, but now I'm seeing a nice chunk of progress when we sit each week and watch it. I'm quite happy with that, so I shall just wait for those to develop. And then my other work in progress is in my basket, and I'm also using my lovely little bobbins bag. Look at the little sprinkly sheep. Oh, so cute. I love this bag. I love it. Look, a little matching drawstring top, and I've even left the little label on because I like the little. She's put a little stitch marker on. I need to pop it into a progress keeper because I don't use stitch markers a lot, but I really like the little jangle it makes. So yeah, so I've left the label on so it keeps jangling because I like that. Put the name on the back. So obviously Danny from Little Bobbins podcast makes gorgeous bags, and whenever I've tried to get one, they sort of like sell out in milliseconds. I've never managed to snag one before, and I was sitting there just browsing on Instagram one day. Post popped up from Danny. Oh, just put some project bags in the shop, and I thought, oh, I'll look down at the timestamp because it'll, you know, with the non-chronological rubbish on Instagram now, it'll probably be about 3 hours ago, and they were long gone. And it said something like 1 minute ago, and I was like, oh, quick! So I dashed over the computer, quickly opened it up and had a look, and this was there, and I managed to get one. So I was so excited, I tell you. I clicked on it and I was going through checkout and I thought, I'm going to get carjacked, I'm never going to get it. This, it's saying it's okay, but it's going to time out or whatever in a minute. But it didn't. It went through, and I was like, have I got one? I think I've got one. Oh my goodness. The things that excite us when we reach this stage in life. But yeah, so that made me ridiculously happy to get one of those. Eek, so exciting. So I'm using this to carry. Let me show you what I'm making actually. First of all, I'm making little squares like this, and each one has got a different little colour in the middle. So I've got 9 different middle colours. So there they are. And the outside, this is Starcraft Special DK that I'm using, which is like my go-to blanket yarn. So that's those. So in here I've got all my little middles. So I made a few squares up to see how it looked and check I was happy with it. And I thought, I am. So I thought I shall make all the middles first. Whoops. In my 9 different colours. I can't remember how many I made. Like, I think I've got 16 of each colour. So 9 lots of 16 I think I'm going for, square wise. Hopefully that'll be enough, because I hate it when you do it and then it isn't enough and then you have to go, oh no, I've got to make more squares. Oh, I can't face it. But yeah, so I've got lots of those sitting in here, waiting to be made up into squares. And yeah, that's it really. Just got to keep making, and eventually I'll have enough squares to join together somehow, not quite sure on that bit yet, and make into a blanket with some kind of border, not sure on that bit yet either. But this is sort of the crochet equivalent of my sock knitting at the moment for me. It's simple, it's mindless, I can just pick it up and do a square and put it down and not have to think about it again for a while. So it's just a nice little thing to do in between other things. So because I've got sort of commissions and other things, there's a lot of things seem to be going on at the end of the year, and spice of life going on and things that I need to keep an eye on and stuff. So yeah, so that's nice and mindless and relaxing for sort of in between all the other bits and bobs that are going on. Don't know why I just keep showing you random ones. Why not? Yeah, so it's like a little palette cleanser between projects. The pattern, I am pretty sure I haven't got a pattern link is what I'm trying to say, because I just knew the pattern off by heart. It's one that my nan used to make, and I know it because she was trying to, she'd made some squares. This was when she was getting really quite old, and she'd made some squares like this, and then she went back to them after a few months and said, oh, I'm going to make some more of those squares. But she couldn't remember exactly how she'd done it. She couldn't remember what she'd, you know, the pattern or whatever. So she was getting me to help her to recreate the squares that she'd already made, because she'd either lost the pattern or forgotten what she'd done or whatever. So we were kind of, I was looking at them and we were kind of reverse engineering it so she could make some more of them. So that's how I know the pattern. So I don't know where she got it from originally. I think some kind of old magazine that she'd kept, because she'd keep patterns for years and years. And she had all these sort of, you know, loads of books and old black and white things, magazines and whatnot. So I think it was out of one of those. But I am pretty sure, I don't know what it's called, that's the trouble. But I'm pretty sure it will probably be freely available on the internet if you can find it without knowing what its name is. I'll have to have a look and see if I can link to one. But it's basically a solid granny, it's just that the corners are different. So you've got like a cluster, 3 clusters in the corner. So on your first one, it's actually all clusters because it's effectively all corners. And then as each row goes out, you get more of these just straight rows of trebles in between the corners. But it makes a nice cross. It looks rather pretty, I think. And I like the little sort of almost like a flower in the middle. So yeah. So I have to look, I don't know what, I just don't know what it's called, that's the trouble. Some sort of criss-crossy, cornery, clustery square. Or possibly something more succinct. So I've got quite a few squares so far. This is what I've made up. I don't know how many I've done yet, because basically I'm just working through until this bag is empty. And then I'll lay them out and see how it's looking. But yeah, I've got quite a few made up so far. And I'll just keep plugging away at it. I'm not sort of in any mad rush to get it finished. Or at least I'm trying not to be, which is kind of against my natural way of things, which is to generally keep going at it until it's done, because I like to finish things. But yeah, that's just sitting there, being a nice in-betweener, and I will get to it when I get to it. But I'm really enjoying it. It's really nice and relaxing to have something so take your brain out and soothing. That's what it's all about, isn't it? Lovely crochet, relaxingness at the end of the day. Love it. So that's that. And I think this is getting a bit long now, so I want to hurry up a bit. So I wanted to quickly say about this shawl, which is a a pattern in progress, which I'm wearing. So this is my I Love Summer shawl, which you may remember seeing before on this podcast a little while ago. Strange mishmash of styles I've got on now, with a light summery shawl and a sort of grey top but multicoloured wrist. Interesting. Yes, anyway, so this pattern I have finished now, and I will be getting that up soon. I've been through it all and had it edited, and I've had some lovely, fantastic testers with some absolutely brilliant feedback for me. So thank you, my lovely testers. You know who you are. Yeah, so that's exciting. So I will hopefully get that up on the website. So that's coming soon. So I wanted to tell you about that. So watch out on Cherry Heart for that coming out. And the only other pattern well, not the only other pattern, but the pattern that the other pattern that I've sort of got in my mind that I want to get out is my Rick Rack top thing, which is sort of floundering a bit at the moment. It was going great, and then we had summer holidays, so I put it on hold, and I've kind of got a little bit scared about going back to it, because it's a garment and it's got to be in different sizes, which means all kinds of different stitch counts and numbers, which means maths, which means brain explosions, and yeah, scariness. So it was going well, and I had it under control, and I knew what I was doing, so I'm sure it'll be fine when I actually open it up and look at it, but I'm just being a bit head in the sand about it at the moment. So I need to stop that and yeah, get on with it. But anyway, we'll come back to that later. So let's quickly finish off with some incoming goodies. So what lovely goodies have I got incoming? Quite a few, actually. So we will break it down, and I possibly won't show you them all. But first of all, oh, another quick thing I was going to tell you. This is relevant because, did you see that? Vlogtober is on at the moment because it's October. There's a thing called Vlogtober where podcasters do a little vlog each day, and then they post one of their little vlogs every day for the month of October. So I just wanted to quickly mention that because I'm really enjoying it. I'm watching two of the people that I subscribe to are doing it at the moment. One is Ali from Little Drops of Wonderful, who is doing the Strictly Along. So I'm really enjoying that. And also Kristen from Vine is doing one, and I'm really enjoying that too. So they're both really good. So it's a recommendation from me to you. So if you're not looking at the Vlogtober podcast, you might want to check them out because they're quite fun. But it's also because I'm enjoying those two, I was kind of looking to see if maybe there were some more. So if you are watching them and you've got one you're enjoying, let me know so I can check it out, because they're quite little, and I wait a few days and then I catch up with them in a row, and it's quite nice. So it'd be quite nice to have one or two more maybe. But anyway, the reason I mention that is because in Kristin's Vlogtober, she's gone for a really Halloween theme. She's got this great like Halloween music, and the Vlogtober writing comes up in orange, kind of Halloween themed letters, and it's really put me in a Halloweeny mood. So when I saw that on Kristin's podcast, I remembered that I'd also seen Sam's podcast, Sam of the Lovely Betsy Makes, and she had Halloween bags. I thought, oh, I'm feeling I need to get my Halloween on. So I had to pop across and get one of Sam's bags, and luckily I'd left it a bit of a while, which is a bit silly, but luckily she had one left, so I nabbed it. Isn't it cute? Oh, I love it. This really tipped me over the edge. This little zip, dangly zip thing. What do you call it? I don't know. Zip keeper thing. But yeah, I just really like that. That just tops it off for me. Isn't that perfect? And then inside, check this out. She's got this lovely orangey bats and worms fabric inside as well. Perfect! I love it. I'm so excited by this bag. So like I say, I nabbed the last one. Yeah, sorry about that. But Sam did say on her podcast that she will be making some more. She had another one. I can't remember what the fabric was, but she had this sort of luminousy, really bright yellow top stitching, which I really liked as well. Yes, but she did say she'll be making some more. So if you were interested, that might be worth checking out. Her update is on... So it'll be next week. So where are we now? We're on Wednesday. Yeah, so it's next Wednesday. So next week on Wednesday, 7 PM UK time, that is. Just saying. Just enabling, should you wish to get your own. And so while I was there, getting my lovely Halloween bag, I'd also been thinking of the idea of ordering another skein of Her Girls Wanna Have Fun yarn, because I had one before and I used it in a couple of projects which I really like, but one is in a project that uses different colours, so although it looks absolutely lovely in there, it doesn't kind of shine on its own because it just looks lovely as part of all the other colours. And I also used it in a project where I held it double with another yarn. Again, it looks lovely, but it doesn't sort of, you know, you can't see it just on its own, see it for itself. And it is an utterly beautiful yarn. So I've been kind of thinking about getting another one. And when I went on to her shop, she did actually have some. So I got another Girls Wanna Have Fun. Because it's just the most gorgeous colourway. I love it. It just seems very cherry heart colours to me. Sort of two different pinks and some mustard in there, and I love it. Yeah, so I wanted to make another project that would sort of kind of just do it justice as it is, so that I could enjoy it. And then when the order came, the lovely Sam, naughty Sam, sent me this as well. Look, she sent me one of her brand new, utterly unique and gorgeous hand-dyed fabric bags. And it's the Girls Wanna Have Fun colourway to match in. So on the one hand, naughty girl, you mustn't be sending me lovely free gifts when you should be selling them in your shop. Too generous and too kind, I tell you what. On the other hand, thank you very much, you're the best. Yeah, on the other hand, I am quite pleased because it's gorgeous. I'll show you that lovely rose-coloured zip. So let's see if you can get quite close and see the detail. Ah, isn't it fantastic? And she's got this lovely subtle, you see the little polka dots on there. Ah, love it. Yeah, so Sam's created this fabric herself. So it's like a merino yarn, but woven to create a lovely sort of woolly but soft, because it's merino, yummy fabric. And then she dyes it in the same way that she would dye her yarn. So you get all the gorgeous colours and splatters and speckles that you get in the Girls Wanna Have Fun yarn, but you get them in the bag, which I've not seen anyone else doing that, so that's pretty, as far as I'm aware, that's pretty unique. Isn't that cool? It's such a cool idea. Put together, how good do they look? So obviously whatever I make with this is going to go in here, but I love that. That's perfect. So happy. So happy with that. Thank you, Sam. So yeah, so those incoming goodies. And then one other thing that I quickly get. Which, stop, wait for the chair noise to stop. Which I've just had sat up on that shelf so I can see it and enjoy it. But it is this lovely hank of gorgeousness, which is by Lena of A Wee Bit Knitty. Now she has a podcast. She used to podcast, then she went away a bit, and now she's back. and she, I don't know how much, I don't think she dyes loads and loads of yarn all the time, but she has been dyeing some and putting it in her shop. But she showed this on her podcast and I just fell in love with it. I think it's gorgeous, beautifully autumnal and delicious. So I'm not quite sure if I should cast it on immediately because I love it, or if I should maybe hang on to it and admire it and maybe cast it on next year in autumn. Because, yeah, I have had it for a few weeks and I've just popped it up on there and so I can see it and love it. But the sort of colours, can you see there's sort of little bits of purpley pink in there? There's the browns and some mustardy bits and delicious. And she was knitting a pair of socks in hers, so I could see how it came out as well, and that looked really good as well. I love her labels as well, aren't they pretty? Yeah, very, very beautiful. So yeah, happy me with lots of lovely goodies. I think that might be it. Yes, I think it is. I think that's all we've got time for today, at least anyway. So anything I've left off we'll have to cover another time. But do tune in next time because I will have the lovely Sam visiting with me. So I will have my special guest, my co-star. Is co-star right? Because she has her own podcast, so that's not really the right term, is it? But joint podcast, my special guest will be with me. So that will be quite fun. Yeah, so we'll see you then. But in the meantime, thank you for watching and goodbye.
I wish I had Wi-Fi so I could talk. And then subsequently that got better. They reorganised. Then it was the parking. People would cut back. Is she coming or? Yeah, she's finished at her like Actually, it's nice when someone stands next to you.